सो लेट्स टॉक अबाउट स्केलेटल मसल्स बिकॉज हम बारी बारी सारे के सारे टाइप्स देखेंगे मसल्स के, ठीक है? सो मेजॉरिटी ऑफ द मसल्स इन आवर बॉडी आर स्केलेटल मसल्स एंड दे आर अटैच्ड टू बोन्स, ठीक है ना? एंड यूजुअली वी कैन कंट्रोल देम। मोस्टली दे आर वॉलंटरी एज पर द लास्ट स्लाइड। मोस्टली जो आपके वॉलंटरी मसल्स होते हैं वो स्केलेटल मसल्स ही होते हैं एंड दे आर अटैच टू द बोन्स या अटैच टू द स्केलेटन बाय specialized tissue called tendons, ठीक है? So muscles are attached to bones by tendons and they can cause movements of bones at the joints, और अगर इनको हम बहुत ज़्यादा यूज़ करें तो they get fatigued and they are myogenic, ठीक है? Okay, so the structure is they are fibrous and long and cylindrical. As you can see here, they are long, cylindrical, and it's called a skeletal muscle fiber because they are fibrous. और उनके ऊपर striations भी होती हैं, ठीक है? They have many nuclei. They have striations and they have alternating dark and light bands. अब यहाँ पे important terms क्या है? Origin is the attachment of the muscle to the bone that remains stationary. मतलब ये attachment जहाँ पे muscle bone से मिल रहा है ना, वो जगह move नहीं करती. Insertion, the attachment of the muscle to the bone that moves, right? And then you have the belly, which is the fleshy part of the muscle between the tendons of origin and or insertion. ठीक है ना? तो वो वाला फ्लैशी पार्ट ऑफ द मसल जो कि इंजर्शन के दरम्यान में भी हो सकता है और ऑरिजिन के टेंडेंस के दरम्यान में भी हो सकता है. सो लेट्स टॉक अबाउट अ फ्यू मसल कैटेगरीज, स्केलेटल मसल कैटेगरीज. अब एक्सटेंसर मसल्स जो होते हैं दे इंक्रीज द एंगल एट अ जॉइंट, ठीक है ना? जॉइंट आपकी बॉडी में फॉर एग्जांपल एल्बो जॉइंट, तो अगर आप आगे की तरफ अपनी एल्बो पुश करो तो ये एक्सटेंसर मसल काम कर रहा होता है. देन यू हैव द फ्लेक्सर which is the opposite and decreases the angle at a joint. You have the abductor which moves the limb away from the midline of the body. तो अगर आप अपने हाथों को अपने जिस्म से दूर बाहर की तरफ पुश कर रहे हो तो your abductors are being utilized, and then you have adductors which does the opposite. Then you have levator which moves the insertion upwards, मतलब ऊपर की तरफ, and depressor moves the insertion downwards. You have the rotator which rotates a bone along its axis, like when you shoulder joint पे आप अपने हाथ पूरे पूरे घुमा सकते हैं. And then you have the sphincter which constricts an opening. So muscle cells are elongated and fibrous, and some biologists believe that muscle cells are not cells because they contain multiple nuclei. So the specific terms are used for muscle cells जो कि उनको थोड़ा differentiate करते हैं. So syncytium is used for muscle fibers, and the cell surface membrane has many infoldings into the interior of the muscle fiber known as transverse tubule system or T system. फिर उनके कुछ differentiating terms होते हैं. Instead of the plasma lemma, you have sarcolemma, which is the cell membrane of the cell muscle cell, sorry. Sarcoplasm, which is the cytoplasm of the muscle cell. Then you have the sarcoplasmic reticulum, which is the endoplasmic reticulum of the muscle cell. And then you have sarcosomes, which are the mitochondria of the muscle cell. So there is some connective tissue that covers the muscle cells, and they cover the muscle cells on three levels. You have the endomysium, which surrounds the individual muscle fiber. Then you have the perimysium, which surrounds bundles of muscle fibers. Like right here, this is a bundle of muscle fiber, and ये जो आगे से थोड़ी सी जो extension है, इसे मैं erase कर रहा हूँ so you can see it better. That is the individual muscle fiber. And then you have the epimysium, which surrounds the entire muscle like this. So the membranes of the sarcoplasmic reticulum have protein pumps for the transfer of calcium ions into the cisternae of the sarcoplasmic reticulum. Mitochondria are tightly packed into myofibrils, and mitochondria provide ATP for the muscle cell to move because it needs to do a lot of aerobic respiration to generate energy.